So when we say, so you were source energy before you came into this physical body, you came into this physical body, you go, give us a break, Abraham. How many times do we have to listen through that again? And then we say, here's this vortex of creation, which is a vibrational state of being. And when you pay attention to the way you feel and stop doing that resistant stuff that you do as you're worrying about things, in the absence of that negative vibration, that resistant vibration, the vortex takes you in. And when the vortex takes you in, what happens is you begin then having the revelation that the vortex provides. Revelation. Now, by revelation, we mean revealed. And by revealed, we mean it becomes part of your awareness. It becomes part of your awareness. It becomes part of your reality. So the first revelation that you receive, how's that word feel to you? We're using the word revelation because we're talking about perception and perceiving. We're talking about you translating something into something that means something to you. So the first thing that is revealed to you is an emotional experience. The emotion is the revelation, the manifestation. But if you practice that vibration long enough, so you're hanging around in the vicinity of that good feeling, manifestational, emotion, revelation, then the revelation becomes more. It becomes insight. You begin getting thoughts. You begin connecting the dots in your own mind. And then you start forming words, and then you start rendezvousing with other people who have similar understandings and are offering similar words. And then more revelations come, like data starts coming to you through articles, and you rendezvous with television programs. And when you're driving down the freeway, you see something that fits just perfectly with it. And then other manifestations start coming, like people walking into your life and saying things and handing you chunks of money and sending you off on enterprise. In other words, the manifestational experience goes from the emotion all the way into the most magnificent physical stuff that you have around you. But it is all as you perceive it to be. It's your ability to translate it that makes it so. So, what does that mean? That means, look how far consciousness has come, that billions of people are upon a planet having experienced the revelation of this planet spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets. This is big time creation. And we think that what we're doing here in this conversation is beginning to close the gap a little bit that's been out there between spiritualism and materialism for a very long time. Because here you are in these physical bodies as evidence of the way source is, and yet you want to condemn the materialism of your world. You want to be hard on yourselves for wanting the things, when everything that you are experiencing in this physical life experience is a manifestation of that which is source, you say. We've teased for a long time about the substance of this world that you are living in. In other words, this feels and sounds, pretty darn real. In other words, this is real. And to try to say, well, it's just vibration or it's just perception, sort of jerks you into an uncomfortable place. And it should jerk you into an uncomfortable place because you have been translators of vibration long enough that you are translating things into reality. The reason that we're having this sort of animated conversation with you is because we want you to understand that if you can make the emotion the reality that you're reaching for, then all the stuff, all the hardscape, all the software, all the stuff that you want to fill in the details of the life experience that you're reaching for must come to you. You are the creator of your reality, you see. And it was supposed to be really, 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 really fun. And we think in understanding it, it becomes more fun. In other words, so my thought is, maybe it's possible that I don't really create my own reality. Maybe it's possible that I have no control whatsoever and that someone else is calling the shots. And that bad things are just going to keep happening to me. And that life sucks and then you die. And we say, you're having clues That discomfort that you're feeling is the source within you saying, it isn't that way, it isn't that way, it isn't that way, it isn't this way. Come over here with us and know what you know. Be who you are, be all that you are. Allow the fullness of who you are. Let life breathe into you. Let love breathe into you. Everything's all right. It's getting better and better and better and better and better. And so don't you think it's nice when you can have some experiences where you're having some discomfort and you are able to bring yourself into alignment with who you are and what you really know and feel the ease of that knowing, you see. There is nothing more delicious than to find a moment where just a moment where you know what you really know. Sweet relief when you know in this moment what you really know. And agony when in any moment you don't let yourself know what you know. And so we don't want you to be dependent on us to know what we know and to just keep talking about what we know so that you can hear what we know and what we know and what we know until you know it. But that's sort of what influence is what upliftment is. When we know what we know so unequivocally, and we know it as we're visiting with you so unequivocally, and we see who you are and where you're going unequivocally, it makes you know it too. But we can't know it so much that we can come over where you are and know it for you. You have to make the leap, you see. And that's what true creation is. That's where all the freedom is. Until you really know that, you're not free. Do you know how many people stand in dread fear of the very thing that you're talking about? Almost everyone is in some stage of resistance about that subject. And it really is time to get over it. It's time to take control of how you feel, regardless of the condition. And when you do, the condition will change every time. And the world will stand in amazement at what you have accomplished, because the world, for the most part, does not know that. Does not know that at all. There is a new physician that Jerry and Esther met recently, who came out to the house and visited, because Jerry and Esther are moving back out to Del Mar. And so the doctors who have been playing with him are going to be different now. And so one of these lovely men came and visited with them as they were getting ready to make their transition back to California. And he said to them, you know, I felt something when I met the two of you that I can't really explain. He said there was an energy. He is a man from India, so he sort of gets that sort of thing. He said, there is an energy about the two of you, and there was upheaval in my life experience. In fact, the day after he met them, he stopped doing what he was doing temporarily, left the facility where he was practicing and went somewhere else, went nowhere else temporarily. And he said, and so I got on your website, and I began reading, and I ordered your books, and I want you to know that I think I knew this, but I didn't really know this. He said, I'm going to start integrating this into my work. And Esther looked at Jerry and said, are we really wondering what this is about when we hear things like that? Because for years, Jerry's been asking the question that you're asking, a very pointed and powerful question. Why aren't they looking for causes? Because until we find the vibrational cause of something, we're nowhere. We're nowhere. The resistance just squirts out in another way and another way and another way and another way. Can't you feel the power of asking a question that is so big and all of the cooperative components coming into place? Because it's time for this physical world to free themselves of the bondage, of the fear of what they think is uncontrollable relative to their physical body. Look at you. You could not be a healthier being. Everything about you is radiating well-being, and still, with all of this robust wellness, you are pinching off the power of your moment because of the possibility of what could come one day. And we say, give it up. Give it up. Start claiming the nowness of your well-being. Claim the well-being of your nowness. Claim the alignment with who you are. And we so want to convince you, and of course we can't, because it's a thing that you have to find your own convincing about. We just know it, and we know it so much that you can find your knowing if you care about how you feel. We just know that you have the ability, thought by thought, to come into full alignment with that knowing of who you are, and nothing less than that will ever feel good. You got no choice. You got to come into alignment with all you know, or you can't feel good. Period. Period, 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 period. These emotional manifestations are all you have to reach for. An emotional manifestation now, then now, then now, then now, then now. And as you line up with who you really are now, and who you really are now, and who you really are now, and who you really are now, in that alignment, in that resourcefulness, in that balance of well-being, the manifestation has to follow that alignment. It just has to follow that alignment. It's law. It's law. Let's talk about what some of those manifestations are. First, that glorious emotion that you're feeling is a manifestation, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it. I want that and that and that and that. And if I get that and that and that, then I'll feel good. So it's the feeling good that's the manifestation that you're looking for all along. When you figure it out, that what you're really looking for is being in the vortex or being in full resonance with who you are. And that from that position, then that vortex in you, that complete full you, then affects the manifestations. And we've been saying it to you in many ways for many years, that you have to be in vibrational alignment with what you want in order for it to come about. And we've been talking about manifestations, but for most people, there has been a gap between this business of doing the vibrational work and the manifestations. And almost everybody says, okay, here I stand, I'm a manifested being, and I care about the what-isness of my life. And we say, of course you do. Because what is. It's who you are. It's where you be. Everything that surrounds you equals the manifestation of this moment. In other words, everyone you talk to, the thoughts you think, the feelings you have, it's all manifesting now, manifesting now. So most people say, all right, here I am. I don't have as much money as I want. I'd like to manifest more money. My car, I don't even want to talk about my car. I want a new car. I'm really not very happy with where I live, and I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something better than what I've had. I'm looking for a relationship. So I want to manifest these things. And they feel like pinnacle things. They feel like big things. They feel like things off in the distance. I want to manifest these things. So I think I'll go to this stupid meeting. The science of deliberate creation, the art of allowing, the law of attraction. I'll go to this meeting and I'll figure out how to manifest those things so that I can then be happy. And so even though we visit in lots of ways, we talk about this year after year after year, almost everyone is still doing it that way. I want to fill in the missing pieces of my life, so I'm therefore willing to do whatever it takes to fill in the missing pieces of my life. And we say, and you said, and we know, and you know, that the only missing piece is the relationship with your inner being that you've been looking for. That's the only missing piece. That's the only missing piece. The cooperative components have already been gathered and are ready to manifest. You're just the missing link. You're just the holdout, not always, but sometimes, in being the cooperative component. So when you get it, that your work is to ignore what is, no matter what it is, to ignore it, to love it and appreciate it for the expansion that it has caused, but now get off of it and start feeling your way into the vortex. Feeling your way into the vortex. And what we've noticed is most of you won't make the effort to feel your way into the vortex as long as you have some other way of wrestling it to the ground and killing it. You didn't come here to be partially alive. You came here as life to express itself in this moment and in this moment and in this moment, to revel in the beauty of your planet and the beauty of the others with whom you share it. You came to revel in life, not to fix broken things, because as we have just been saying to you, Source does not acknowledge anything as broken, just as always expanding. So we say in simple terms, you can't get it wrong and you never get it done. And the reason you can't get it wrong is because it's never done. So if in this moment it feels sort of wrong, it isn't wrong, it's just not done. And in what feels like wrongness to you, there's a new rightness that's being born. And that rightness is the new expansion that is being born. So as you accept that you are always eternally expanding, then it sort of takes the sting out of standing in a place where the contrast is showing you something that you don't want. And what we want to convince you of today, we are determined to do it. We will give you everything that we and Esther has in order to help you understand that if you can accept that in this moment, right here and now, whatever the moment is, wherever you are, on the elevator, in traffic, making love, moving through your life in whatever way that you are, in every moment in time, there is this juncture where you meet you. And to the degree that you understand that and want to let the fullness of you be there in that moment, then your new decision, your newfound decision that you will leave here with today will be this: I am source energy in a physical body, and the emotion that I strive for